Hey everyone, welcome! Today we're taking a little journey into the great forests of North America to meet someone truly legendary. Let's dive right in.
Just imagine that for a second. Someone so big that their very presence could shape mountains and carve out rivers. What would a person like that even be like? Well, let's find out. Our story begins, like all the best ones do, a long, long time ago. Deep in the huge green forests of the United States, there lived a man who wasn't like anyone you've ever met. His name was Paul Bunyan, and yep, he was a giant.
And when I say huge, I mean he could use a whole pine tree as a toothpick. But the most amazing thing about Paul wasn't his size. It was his kind and generous heart. It was even bigger.
So one snowy morning, Paul heard a tiny little sound, a weak moo. He followed it and found a tiny ox just shivering in the cold. And this was no ordinary ox. Believe it or not, he was a beautiful shade of blue.
Well, seeing that poor little creature, Paul's giant heart just went out to him. He was so gentle, scooping up the tiny blue ox in his huge hands, carrying him back to his cabin, and making sure he was all safe and warm.
With Paul's amazing care, something magical started to happen. The little ox began to grow and grow. He got taller and stronger every single day, and his blue coat became even more vibrant. Paul decided to call his new friend Babe.
From that day on, you couldn't find one without the other. They were more than just a man and his ox. They were the absolute best of friends. If you saw Paul Bunyan walking through the forest, you could be sure his big blue companion, Babe, was right there with him. Now, Paul and Babe didn't just keep all their amazing strength to themselves. Oh no. When villages nearby needed wood to build new homes, the two of them were always ready to work together and lend a hand.
The legends even say they helped shape the land itself. One really hot day, Babe slid across a great big stretch of land to cool off, and that giant slide mark he left behind, well, it filled right up with water and became a brand new river. How amazing is that? You know, people were always amazed by the incredible things they could do, but Paul always shared a piece of simple wisdom. He believed that real strength, true power, isn't about being the biggest or the strongest. It's about using what you have to help others.
We can all be a little like Paul and Babe, you know? So here's a fun challenge for you. Find a way to help a family member with something today. You might just discover that teamwork makes any job way easier and a lot more fun.
Okay, let's fire up our imaginations. If you could have a giant, magical animal friend just like Babe, what kind of animal would you choose? Maybe a giant eagle you could fly with, or a giant fluffy rabbit? Let us know. All right, time for a quick quiz to see what you remember. First question, what color was Babe the ox? That's right, he was a beautiful bright blue.
Okay, next question. Why did Paul and Babe help the villagers? Because they had those super big hearts and wanted to help them build homes to stay safe and warm. And for the final, most important question, what was that big lesson Paul taught everyone about strength? He taught them that true power is all about helping, not showing off. Wonderful job. Paul Bunyan is a famous American folk hero, so this story comes to us from the United States. Don't forget to mark your trip there by filling out the United States page in your passport. We had so much fun sharing the legend of Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox with you. To join us on our next adventure to a whole new country, make sure to subscribe for another magical story tomorrow. We can't wait to see you then.